What's going on? It's your guy Wally, aka Mr. Music is My Business. And welcome back to the OGs of hip hop. We got the Grammy-nominated, multi-platinum selling DJ, artist, educator, entrepreneur, all around, and my brother Ricco James.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's Ricco Lumpkins, Raja Bangs. He's got like 4 or 5 different aliases. You went in there. You produce some hits now. You got a ton of hits. The records that we always get excited about when we go in the media, and I'm sure you've answered it probably a million times, right? Mm-hmm. But records like Waterfalls and Creep, could you walk us through what you remember of that first session with TLC? What was the vibe like in the room? And did you know you were making history?
Man, I'm going to say this. I ain't never told this before.
That's what I need. I need this. OGs of hip hop.
So when we was working on Waterfalls, it wasn't just one session. So that the way that Organized Noise worked and a lot of other producers is they will book out 2 or 3 different studios at the exact same time. You have different crews working with them.
All next to each other, right? That's how
yeah, it's within like a walking distance from each other in Atlanta. So when the reels came in for Waterfalls, it was already kind of tracked out, some of it. Some of the vocals were laid down. And I'm like, man, what the heck is this? Like, so I'm pulling up faders with my guy Neil Pogue, right? And we're pulling up faders, and it was like, it sounded crazy, bro. It sounded really crazy because we had to add the horns to it.
Crazy in what kind of way?
Like it was like raw, it was real raw.
Okay.
Like if you listen to the drums, they were out the SP1200, and it's not like it was horrible. It just was, okay, I thought we was doing like a pop record, but it had like this hip hop. It threw me. It had this hip hop feel, so it threw me. And I'm listening to it because we listened to track solo. I'm like, this ain't gonna do nothing. You know? And so then I got contracted to cut Left Eye's vocals. So the studio we're working out of, DARP Studios, will have like 3 or 4 different studios, right? And so we're in Studio A, and Lisa came in with her crew, and Lisa took like 8 hours to write the rap. So here I am looping the track.
8 hours just sitting there.
And we talking though, like,
right.
You know, we vibing. In fact, she's the one that taught me about publishing to the degree of, it's like, okay, make sure you're publishing right. Ricco, don't let them get this, that. Like all that she broke down on MTV.
She talked to you about.
Yeah, she talked to me about that. And this was 96, 90. No. Waterfalls was 95, 94, somewhere in there. So that's the first time we just really connected. Like we had a special bond, right?
Right.
And I'm like, this girl is intelligent, you know? And so when she was crafting her lyrics, 8 hours writing that verse, just sitting there on loop. Now we on a major budget, think about it. So back then, $1,600 a day just to
block out the studio.
Just to block out.
Yep.
But I gave her space. I'm like, I'm not going to rush greatness, right? And so we connected, and she's writing this. When she laid her verse, for some reason, my eyes opened like, wait a minute, this is a different type of record now. And it just, again, it just hit me to where it's like, that's when you realize that's a milestone in your life. But at first, I wasn't feeling the record. I'm like, this is garbage. You know what I mean? That's the way I thought about it. It sounded like it. But then we brought in these horns, the horn quartet, and we sampled those. We flew those in. Then we brought the bass. I think it was Marcus Jefferson. We brought him. He added that boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? So that added a different vibe to it. And then we really process the drums to make those snap. So if you really listen to those drums, they snap like New York drums. So it was a culmination of different genres merged into one. And of course, it's been one of the biggest records of all time, even to this day. Yeah.
That's an amazing story. So the vibe It's really like a gumbo, a sound.
Yes.
It was mixed in there.
But like I told you guys earlier, that's where I come from, right?
Right.
It wasn't a big deal of adapting to and massaging the sound,
Right.
because that's where I come from. But I didn't expect that on a record like, on them as an artist. And it was questionable at first. Like, for example, when we did the Fan Mail album and we heard No Scrubs. Shakespeare did it. I think he's from Chicago too. Shakespeare did the record, but Tony Mercedes brought the record because Candy wrote it from Escape. They wrote it at, I think, Red Zone, if I'm not mistaken, which is Tricky Stewart's studio. But everybody's studio is so close to each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tony brought the record over to DARP and played it for us, and so Dallas was the executive producer of the album, and first we thought that Silly Ho was going to be the first single. And then he had did, what's the other record he did? Unpretty. When L.A. Reid came in, I did If They Knew. L.A. Reid fell crazy for If They Knew. And he was like, this is the first single. But then Tony brought that record over, No Scrubs, and we're listening to, how music sounds like it's 4D? We listened to this record like, what the heck? And it was just knocking. So that took over as the first single. So we didn't think, Waterfalls didn't have that effect on us.
Everybody agreed on that record.
Everybody agreed on that.
That's kind of hard to get a consensus sometimes.
Oh, absolutely, because you got the political game that you play. This producer wanted his single to come out. That producer wanted his single, So it was like, I seen that, because I fell victim to that. Like, how can I compete against like a Dallas, or how can I compete against, Tricky, or, you know what I mean? Like, I'm signed to Dallas as a producer.
Right.
So of course his record's gonna come out first. And it's not a slight or anything. It's just that's the way that the business is set up. Like, he had to recoup publishing and all kinds of other stuff.
Right.
So yeah.
So that's what we're talking about. You got to know how to move in the game. When you were working on Elevators, what was Andre 3000 and Big Boy's creative process like? And how did you take that track over the finish line to get it done?
Me and you, your mama and your cousin too. That's actually one of my favorite hip hop records. Again. So, okay, that was produced by Organized Noise, right? And we had a team of engineers, and I was one of their engineers. But I was contracted through NHP Sound. Neil Pogue, he's another one of my mentors, like another one of my big brothers in the game. He put me on. He was like, Reek, I don't want to engineer anymore. I don't want to track. Because being in the studio, like, sometimes you got to babysit these artists, right? The producers, they get real kind of... cater to them, like everything is about them.
Ego.
Yeah, big egos, right? And I get it, because you're under a lot of pressure. You got a big budgets, multi-million-dollar budgets that you got to recoup. But the point I'm trying to make is, being in the studio, Organized Noise would run deep, 30 deep. And you got different energies around the studio. Like, let's say that this is a studio, but you got 30 people in here just going back and forth, and you trying to cut vocals, or y'all trying to write a song.
We loud, distractions.
Yeah. Everybody's smoking weed, everybody doing, you know what I'm saying? Bringing their girls, this, that, and the other. Everybody having a party inside the, you know what I mean? Like, over there in the corner, you got a whole different party happening. And so, sometimes it was difficult to kind of navigate through that, but you focus in, you lock in, and you get the job done. But with Outkast, oddly enough, I didn't really see them in the studio that often together. Because what happened is they would book out 3 studios, right? Like I said. And Big Boy would be over here in this studio. Dre would be in this studio. But Dre would always be where the music was being created. You know what I mean? He would I think he was trying to just learn production back then.
Okay. So he was tapped in. He wanted to be a part of the production.
So if you remember Idlewild, he did that whole soundtrack, right?
Right.
But I would say he's clearly one of my favorite MCs because of his process. Not that he was super fast or super slow.
Right.
But you could tell he was inking or crafting his bars, right? What he was saying, his message. because the Dungeon family actually incorporated Outkast and Goody Mob and a bunch of other artists like Lil Will and Witch Doctor and all them. But Outkast and Goody Mob held each other accountable. Like, you ain't gonna come with no whack ass bars.
Very competitive.
It's competitiveness. Iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
Right. And so with CeeLo being in Goody Mob, like, they knew that, hey, we got to come with it every time. And so I seen his genius firsthand. And you know, when they did the 50 top rappers of all time, I think he should have been higher on that list. I think he was like number 7 or something like that, number 12.
Them things are always going to be subjective, depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
You get 1,000 different answers. You know, he's somebody that's definitely's got a mystique and a style to him, and he seemed like he'd be like fun to work with.
Yeah.
Or really weird. It's going to be one or the other. You know what I mean? You're going to have a great time, or it's going to be like a unique experience. I want to talk about Master P and No Limit. No Limit was a huge movement during the 90s and 2000. What was cutting step to this with Master P and the squad like? Did you have to change your approach to work with Southern artists as opposed to like people that you were crafting music with, like in New York?
So before the P record, I had already been down there for like 6 or 7 years.
Right, because you were doing the Aliens, the Outkast, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they were a different vibe. I mean, you go from, you know, Outkast to Master P. These are different.
Okay, so the way that the P sessions worked was this. Again, like I said, I was signed to the publishing company. So Danny Zook and I think it was Julian Wright. They would get beat CDs from us.
Okay.
And we just be in the studio, just creating beats. Boom, boom, boom. We were a team producer.
Pumping them out all day.
Yeah, we pumping them out. And again, so I was explaining this earlier in the radio show, is back then, I didn't work off from necessarily inspiration. I just worked off from that adrenaline. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. You know, you see people in Studio D and they banging. It's people in Studio B, they banging, they knocking. It's like, shit, let me get in my room and bang out.
Right.
So here I am. That's kind of how I was operating back then. And we put 20 beats on a CD and we give it to our publisher. And so the publishing company would send out the beat CDs to the labels.
Actual CDs.
Actual physical
emails,
CDs.
A physical CD.
It's like you send an email. So they were sending out beat CDs out back then. I don't know exactly how P got I'm assuming it was from Danny's, but they send out the beat CD. Next thing I know, P calls me up and is like, yo, Shawty, what up, what up, what up?
Did he say,
so he's like, yo, Shawty, check this out. How much you want for this beat? And I'm like, I knew he was P back then, right?
He's an ice cream man.
Yeah. So I'm like, I ain't never told this, bro. But I'm like,
yeah, that's with it.
I was like, shoot me 100. Okay, cool, no problem. Send me like 100,000.
Yeah.
Send me all your information, your routing information, your attorney, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, cool. Like, P know how to handle business.
Yeah.
But I didn't think he was going to shoot the stack, 100
Right.
stacks over. I thought, you know, we was going to negotiate. He's like, nah, go ahead, send me your attorney information. He said, but what I need you to do is turn on BET right now. It's like, what do you mean?
Here comes the flex.
This dude, I turn on BET World Premiere, and bam, Step to This is playing. And I'm like,
The record, he just agreed to give you 100,000
Yeah.
for, right?
he was like, I
It's
was like,
already taped and it's on television.
that's how he worked back then.
Right,
He wasn't about, like, he did business, but he did it his way.
right.
So I'm like, wow. Like, he didn't clear it or nothing? Like, nah, he straight went for the, you know what I'm saying, for the juggler. So I was like, all right, cool. I didn't know how to react back then because I was always making sure my attorney take care of things.
Yeah.
You know, my production company, they would handle the negotiation for me. So I was kind of like stuck, but then they didn't care because they was getting 20%. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so I'm like, all right, cool. Then he said, yeah, so with that being said, how many more tracks you got? I was like, I can send you out another beat CD. It's not a big deal. He said, no. What I just need you to do is just fly out to LA and work with my brother. Not C Murder, but the other one. Silk the Shocker. And we working on this movie, the soundtrack. I think it was Hot Boy soundtrack. He's like, so go out there, you know what I'm saying? Lace him up, boom, boom, boom. So he flew me out. Rodeo Drive, like, it was all top notch, bro. VIP status.
How did it feel the first time you got like 6 figures? You don't have to say what it is, but the first time you cracked 6 figures for a beat. What I want people that are been doing it 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 15 years to understand like that's real. It happens. What was that feeling like?
Well, it's a different dynamic, it's a different temperature now, right? Like the main producer, A producer. So you got different level producers. You got A, B, C, D, different tiers of production or producers. And the A producers like the Pharrells and the Max Martins and all those kind of guys, they're still getting those 6 figures, right? Back then, that was my 6-figure deal, the first one.
So that was the first one?
Yeah, that was the first one. From there, it was just like 30,000 here, 50,000 here, 80,000 here. In-house stuff was like maybe 10 or 15,000.
Right.
And those were like, you know, the Monicas and the Sammys and those kind of.
But these are records that are actually going out and doing big stuff too. You're getting the back, you're getting your upfront, and then you're getting the back end too. So
yeah, you're getting production royalties, you're getting publishing, and writers. But the thing is, back then, so a CD sold for how much?
It was like $10 to $14.
$10 to $14. Yeah. Late 90s was $20.
Right. It did get a little expensive.
So do the math. You sell double platinum, you made what, 40 million? 20 times 2 million. You made 40 million off from all those CDs. Streaming now pays what?
Thousands of a penny.
Thousands of a penny. So you gotta do
fractions. I don't know, tens
billions
of
streams in order just to make. Like Snoop said, what he made like $40,000 off from billion streams.
Yeah,
it's skewed, bro.
No, it is.
So, but back then, yeah, your royalty checks or mechanicals was crazy, as well as your publishing, because not only do you get television or what's called performance royalties, sync royalties, you get all that, and because your publishing company is making sure all your money comes in. I mean, we were seeing $80, $100, $150, $200,000 checks back then.
Which is good because that means you could just actually get in the studio and just focus on your craft, right?
Yeah, that's all I
did. You know the money's coming, the bills are gonna be paid, right? Like you can actually focus on like just being the best you.
Yep.
Being the best you when you're Ricco Lumpkins, The Boy Is Mine. This was one of the biggest records of its time. It's Brandy and Monica when they did this collaboration record. What was your role in shaping that sound? And is there a standout moment from that day?
Yeah. So we were in the other room cutting Angel of Mine by Monica. And so I kind of alluded to a little bit. Rodney Jerkins had flew in, and him and Dallas, which I didn't know, like they were co-producing Boy's Mine in Studio A. Now, we cut Angel of Mine, Studio B. Once we finished her vocals, that was Rodney and LaShawn Daniels, rest in peace. But Rodney and LaShawn were writing Angel of Mine, or reproducing it, because it was already written. I found that out later. It was a remake. And then Dallas came and was like, yo, Reek, can you go in the other room and cut Mo's vocals on the other record in Studio A? And see, that's how we worked. We were just rolling. I mean, we were having artists come in all the time. Like, everybody.
Cooking.
Everybody that was, I mean, from Atlanta.
Yeah.
From the Ushers to the Pinks to the Outkast to the TLCs to, you know, anybody who was, everybody in Atlanta was in Atlanta, but people from New York started coming down. So you had the Eric Sermon's EPMD, you had Mobb Deep, you had like Busta Rhymes, like all these cats came down to Atlanta, and then Too Short moved from L.A. to Atlanta. So then he had his crew. Shorty B was a hell of a guitar player, but
Short Dog.
yeah. So the thing is, he was like, yeah, go and cut Mo's record, vocals on that other record in Studio A. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, it was another check for me.
Yeah.
So back then, I was eating off from my hourly rate, my daily rate,
and everything else.
Because it was multi-million-dollar budgets.
Right.
And so I go in there, and they had just barely finished the track. So again, I'm hearing things in the rawest form, right? I cut her vocals, we do some ad-libs, and that was it. So then I was like, all right, cool, on to the next session.
Gone. You
Gone.
out of
that
there.
was done. Invoice, bam, gone. Come to find out, I didn't know that I cut the vocals on that record, which became a Grammy Award-winning record, until my guy, Leslie Brathwaite, was like, we was chopping it up one time in Florida. He was like, yo, Rick, you don't remember cutting the vocals on Boy's Mind? Because he's like, we were talking about credits, right?
Yeah.
And how you got to fight for your credits, you know what I mean? Or have your management team get your credits right. Because the A&R back then, they didn't care. They only went off from what was submitted to them. And sometimes, the producer or the studio, they forget.
They're very selective.
Yeah, so as an engineer back then, I didn't get that credit, or I didn't think I got the credit. But Leslie was like, nah, Rick, you cut the vocals. You cut Mo's vocals on that. I'm like, you get out of here. He's like, yeah, remember you went to Studio A? That was Boy's Mind. So all this time, I had forgot that I did it.
Got him.
Yeah.
If you were to sum up your production style in one sentence, like your mantra of being a producer, what would it be?
It's kind of changed over the years, bro. Because now I believe that this is just my philosophy. I see, whenever I'm producing or creating, I'm channeling from the source. So it's channeling. And whatever comes out, sometimes you don't know what you're going to create.
Mm-hmm.
You just go in there, I got a vibe, this is the kind of idea where I want to go, boom. Then you start creating, it's like it turns out to be something else, either dope or whack.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so a lot of times, because I hold my standards so high that I trash a lot of beats.
The stuff that don't make the cut, right?
It doesn't make the cut to me. Now, to a person or an artist that may hear that track, they might hear something different. And I've had those too. To where it's like, you like this record or you like that beat? But sometimes the song written on top of the beat elevates that to a record. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the combination, right?
Yeah.
The mix.
Yes. Well,
The combination.
it's the mix.
The blend, right?
It's the lyrics. It's the melody. Like I was telling Thought Boy Zello earlier, like his melodies and his lyrics, like how he formulates his stuff is dope. And you got a lot of artists that are like, you have good artists that are out right now that knows how to do that. But then we've been fed garbage for so many years that it's hard to filter, It's not hard to filter, but it's just like, okay, somebody sent me a record the other day, right? My homeboy from Rockford. And he was like, Rick, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. I get this at least 3 times a day, easily. So I'm listening to the record. I'm like, I said, our standards are different. I said, maybe you need to, I said, what do your fans think about the record? And he's like, oh, they think it's fire. Okay. But you don't need my opinion. Because what I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna tell you the hardcore truth of what I think is hit material. Because I've worked on enough, and I'm not trying to pull my own chain, but I've worked on it. I've been in those rooms to where I've seen greatness happen. I've seen Dallas Austin at work. I've seen the Rodney Jerkins at work. I've seen the Whitney Houstons at work. I've seen the Boyz II Men at work. I've seen the Outkast at work. And that standard, that bar is high.
Yes.
So that's where you're asking for my opinion. I'm going to tell you, like, this don't meet that standard.
Because you got higher standards naturally.
Yeah.
What's one brutal truth about the music business that you wish every newcomer understood before they signed the first deal, before they signed a piece of paper, whether it's a record deal or a publishing deal? What's something that every new person needs to know?
When you're ready, so we can talk independent and we can talk major.
Give me the independent, because I think that's where the people got to start with.
Okay. So
If they don't do it right there, they'll never get to the major, right?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
It depends how talented they are.
Yeah.
Like the music business will prey on an artist that don't got their business together. Like they would love that. They love that.
Mm-hmm.
They have for years.
Right.
But, and I'm just gonna put them two in the part because I think it matters, right? As an independent, like you're handling a lot of your own business, right? Whether that's booking, whether that's writing, whether production, blah blah blah. Whether you're distributing your record, now you're going through either TuneCore or CD Baby, and you got to read through all that to just know. Then you got to, register all your songs with the copyright office, with Sound Exchange, you got to go in, right?
Yes.
And you got to take care of that business. Because that's what this is. This is a music business. It's not the music industry like that. The music industry is the hype. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the hype of it. You want to go to the clubs, you want to hang out in VIP, you want to, be in the videos. But behind the scenes, like, you have to, if you don't do it, then you got to have somebody doing it for you. Whether that's a manager, an attorney, you know what I'm saying? Assistant.
Yeah.
Depending how big you is.
A team.
Right? Yeah, you got to have a team. Because now you got marketing, you got all the visuals, you got distribution, you got the production, you got the publishing. So you got to understand each facet in order to be successful. Because if it's funny, I think it was Keith Sweat on Spring Champs the other day, and he said, my boy works with Keith Sweat, that's why I'm shouting him out. But he said he's been his own manager for 20 years now. Now, believe it or not, Keith is still getting a bag from sync,
yes.
from performances, from podcasts, from he had in real estate. So he has a lot of different investment vehicles, that when he said that he was his manager for 20 years, his own manager, he said the exact same thing you just said. He's like, the difference is you got to do the work. He's like, instead of me getting up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon now, I'm getting up at 9, 10 o'clock, jumping on Zoom meetings, making sure that this business is handled, making sure that a performance is secured, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, you got to do that. What's the difference between a major artist and you as an independent? There should be no difference.
Right.
In the way you handle your business.
And the grind.
Yeah.
This is true. Ricco, you've shaped the soundtrack of our lives. A lot of people, you've heard a Ricco Lumpkins song, a vocal, an engineering, a production, if you're over 30. What does a platform like Urban Grind TV mean to the legacy and the future of hip hop and just the hip hop culture? I always like to get people's input about that.
So, yeah, I was just talking about it on the radio station, but like, today's artists have to connect with their fan base. They gotta like your music. They gotta love your music. And I think as many outlets that you can get on, especially like, okay, you got Instagram, TikTok, all the social media platforms, right? Tons of them. But okay, what sets you apart? Because now you're part of the noise. And yeah, you can do your marketing campaigns and all these other, you can buy, campaigns on all these platforms. But still, if the music isn't connecting with the fan base, I think it's a missed opportunity. What this kind of show will provide is like an artist can come here, perform, have the interview. Now you become real. And even though you got real clips and this and that and the other that you're gonna put out as part of your interview, it's a different taste, a different texture, a different connotation, to where, oh, this is something different, and it's credible. Because urban grind's been around for so long, right? Y'all broke so many independent artists. So now when you come the independent route and don't go straight major, like, believe it or not, I think Ray Daniels was saying this. He's a manager, right? Radar Entertainment. And he said the other day on a podcast, he said, when you miss your core fan base and you circumvent them, you go around, and all of a sudden you sign with a major, you miss this whole opportunity. So instead of you going through your fan base and rising with your fan base, and those are real followers, real supporters. Now the label's like, oh, that's what we want to sign, because we can put them on tour, we can put them in movies, we can put sync, and whatever. It becomes real. It becomes organic. You're not painting. I mean, that's part of it, painting the hype, right?
Yeah.
But now you got easily 100,000 subscribers or fans, blah, blah, blah. Even though you might have bought some of them, but the core data will show if it's real or not.
Yep.
Yeah.
People lie, numbers don't.
That's right.
They never do. Looking back on your journey from the block parties to the Grammys, what do you want the next generation to remember most about your impact?
That I reciprocated my experience, and I've done that sitting with on different panels and different being affiliated with different education platforms. It's not just about, like, your music's gonna live on, right? If it's good music. But also, because I'm at a different stage of my life, like, okay, who was I as a person? And was that a good guy? You know what I mean? Because I really believe that, because you got so many assholes in this game. But at the executive level, you're going assholes.
Mm-hmm.
And that can stifle your spirit, as an artist. So what I like to be encouraging, like, okay, yeah, I'm going to give you the real and raw of the condition of your record, but I'm not going to be condescending. I'm not going to drag you through the mud.
Try and hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
Just telling them it's the
And
record.
I think that's insecurity for a lot of those executives at that level, because they don't know what's next. So they want to, they'll invite you to the VIP, parties and that kind of thing, but then you try to talk to them. Dude was an asshole.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
You're laid out. You got the fly merchandise, the hats, backpacks. This is one of the shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about the merchandise line and where can people cop it at? Because you got, like, super dope, like, futuristic designs. Like, all your graphics be sick.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Talk to us about where you can get the merch at.
So on the website, www.rajabangsit.com, and it's RAJA bangsit.com. That's where our sample packs are as well.
Okay.
So for the producers and artists that are don't want, I talked about the AI stuff earlier, but you want some original, authentic loops or samples to incorporate into your production. For all you artists, producers, and DJs, go ahead to rajabangsit.com, download that. But just anybody that wants to support, I got the caps. Well, we do, because I have a team of producers that help me do the Raja Bangs It sample pack. So I got my guy Deluxe Wave in the house.
Up.
Yep. And then Big Mike from the paper company, Taj Mahal, helped me produce a couple of them. Darren J. Fallis and my brother Jerry Lumpkins and Orville Klein. So we all did volume 1 together.
Nice.
So it's not just one genre. You got various genres. Yeah.
You got it all.
And my tennis shoes, bam.
Shoes.
I got tennis shoes on there, but we got hoodies, we got backpacks, we got t-shirts, tank tops, and bucket hats.
The full merchandise line, man. You guys need to go ahead and copy some gear. Ricco Lumpkins, thank you so much. I want to thank you for sharing your journey, for sharing your wisdom, and for sharing some really amazing, legendary moments tonight that will live on forever in infamy here on Urban Grind TV and around the world. I just want to, again, thank you and remind you that your impact, your work has shaped the culture. And tonight we honor you and the icons that stood alongside you. And that's it for this episode of OGs of Hip Hop. I'm Wally Locker III. Until next time, keep supporting the culture. Thank you.
Thank you.
Step onto the stage at Urban Grind Studios, featuring a professional TV set with a full stage, dynamic lighting, and top-tier production capabilities. Whether you're filming a show, recording content, or creating high-quality visuals, we've got the setup to bring your vision to life. We also offer a state-of-the-art podcast studio with a Rodcaster Pro, professional mics, and in-studio monitors for flawless sound. Need crystal-clear wireless audio? Our professional-grade Saramonic wireless audio system with 4 microphones ensures top-quality sound for any production. Our photography studio is perfect for headshots, brand shoots, and content creation with premium lighting and backdrops. Need to record music or voiceovers? Our on-site recording studio is available for high-quality productions. Expand your reach with podcast distribution, TV and radio packages, and exclusive content placement services. And we keep it comfortable, with a fridge stocked for guests, easy parking, and a designated smoking area. Book your session today. Call 1-888-380-1913 or visit urbangrindtv.com.
Are you an artist, model, or entertainer? Do you need help with bookings, castings, or even engagement on your platforms? Hit up Urban Grind TV today and let them get you right.
Attention artists, producers, and record labels. Are you ready to elevate your music career? Urban Grind TV will get your music video on BET Jams. That's right, guaranteed airplay for your music video on BET Jams. You'll receive a minimum of 6 to 12 plays, gaining you massive exposure to fans and industry insiders. Just contact Urban Grind TV and we take care of everything. The professional video preparation, the closed captioning, the submission, and the music video placement with the results guaranteed. Just contact Urban Grind TV, send us your file via WeTransfer, complete the payment securely on our website, urbangrindtv.com, and we handle the rest. All you need to do is call 888-380-1913 and visit urbangrindtv.com to get started today. Urban Grind TV, where your music meets the spotlight.
Hey! Yo, real, like SMG shit. Shout out SEM. From Memphis to the rack, from the rack back. Still focused. Working. Grinding for everything and nothing less. Gang. I'm on the ground like, whoa. Plenty of fish, you won't pay for the kitty. I probably hit once, then I ghost. Move like the Kennedy, I'm at your energy. Who is that boy? I don't know. He used a drum, so he up in the scope. Keep your friends safe and your enemies close. Brody a demon, he get in his mode. Empty the clip, so he gotta reload. Take what he on, I won't go in his pockets. I see through the cap, so that boy better stop it. I'm trying to see cash that don't fit in the wallet. SMG coming, we trying to make profit. Good talk with sinister, say it's no option. I use my technique, stick and move like I'm boxing. I big A to work, so they ready to box him. I open up doors, thought you needed a locksmith. All of these drugs, can't nobody just drop me. Bro, buckle with stick in the back of the part. All of these niggas play game what they like, but you cannot respond. No, this shit not a tar. Niggas be hating for any little reason, but I'ma keep rapping these features with Barbie. Trim this shit down till I get to the top. Now I'm about to offset like I'm dealing with Cardi. I'm going back to back, feeling like Pat. They was sleeping on Zello. Wake up from the nap. They put bread on his top since that boy wanna cap. I get money, you don't. Let's just keep it a stack. If I sign a contract, I bet that bitch a max. I got smoke for his lit. I'm on fire like a match. Can't be chasing the bitch, so I'm chasing the sack. If you don't got a problem, we make it like that. Plenty of fish, you won't pay for the kitty. I probably hit once, then I ghost. Move like the Kennedy, I'm at your energy. Who is that boy? I don't know. He used a drum, so he up in the scope. Keep your friends safe and your enemies close. Brody a demon, he get in his mode. Empty the clip, so he gotta reload. Take what he on, I won't go in his pockets. I see through the cap, so that boy better stop it. I'm trying to see cash that don't fit in the wallet. SMG coming, we trying to make profit. Good talk with sinister, say it's no option. I use my techniques, think and move like I'm boxing. I been gave the word, so they ready to box him. I open up doors, thought you needed a locksmith.
Sinister gang, we doing the damn thing, ain't doing the damn thing. It's too many haters and so many fakers. They love the haters, we so players. Don't care what they talking, the money is popping. Got it in motion, ain't no boasting. Me and the team, taking the world. That's Urban Grind, that's SCM, that's SMG. Whoever else under the umbrella coming across like the good fellas. Spencer Cologne, they love the smell of us. Only a few, like where's the rest of us? I'm counting this money, I'm keeping it on me. Drinking this liquor like what is wrong with me? I'm rolling these raws, don't mess with woods. Niggas run up, I wish they would. Getting this money, they wish they could. I won't explain, it should be understood. The way that I'm walking, the way that I'm talking, there's something about me. They love, they hate me. These niggas is talking, these bitches is stalking. This shit is appalling. I wanna keep ballin', so stay out my way. I'm not here for plays. We coming through,
I'm on
so
the ground like
away.
Plenty of fish, you won't pay for the kitty. I probably hit once, then I ghost. Move like the Kennedy, I'm matching energy. Who is that boy? I don't know. He used a drum, so he up in the scope. Keep your friends safe and your enemies close. Brody a demon, he get in his mode. Empty the clip, so he gotta reload. Take what he on, I won't go in his pockets. I see through the cap, so that boy better stop it. I'm trying to see cans that don't fit in the wallet. SMG coming, we trying to make profit. Good talk with sinister, say it's no option. I use my techniques, think and move like I'm boxing. I been gave the word, so they ready to box him. I open up doors, thought you needed a locksmith.
What's going on? It's your boy Wally, aka Mr. Music is My Business. And I'm here to tell you about the Music Royalty Registration Program. That's right, you can monetize your music and secure your rights with the 14 to 16 essential registrations to protect and maximize your earnings. But why choose this program? Great question. How about getting paid for every stream, download, or play? Save time and effort with expert guidance. Ensure proper credit and ownership. And there's also those music licensing opportunities. For more information, visit urbangrindtv.com or call us at 888-380-1913. Hit the line up and get your grind up. What's going on? It's your boy Wally, aka Mr. Music is My Business from Urban Grind TV. I'm here to announce my brand new book is out. It's available everywhere books are sold. It's titled Music is My Business, the ultimate startup guide to the music business. You can check it out at musicbusinessebook.com, Amazon Books, Barnes & Nobles, and everywhere that books are sold. And it will help you turn your love for music into a sustainable career. Check us out, musicbusinessebook.com. From the 28-time award-winning hip-hop television show, man. We got a super dope artist coming up. He's joining us back in the group right now. His name is LBisy. He is from New York City. And make sure you check out Urban Grind TV every Wednesday night, 11 p.m. on Comcast Channel 25. And what we do is we do an artist spotlight, man. So we tapping in with dope independent artists from all around the country that are making moves and deserve a shine. So make sure you tap in with our YouTube. That is Urban Grind TV. Make sure you hit a subscribe, hit that bell, follow us for updates. So we're joined today via Zoom by a rising New York City artist whose raw gangster bars are turning heads. Let's give it up for LBisy.
Thank you.
LBisy, man, how you feeling today, brother?
I'm good, and you?
Man, I'm feeling blessed. It's a beautiful day in the city. Urban Grind TV is making major moves, man. But today is all about you. We want to tap in, LBisy boy, and we're here to tell your story, man. So I like to start from the beginning. I want to talk about the origins and inspiration. So you grew up in New York, right?
Yes.
And you fell in love with rap music at the age of 6.
Yes.
What was the first spark? Was there a song or an artist that made you go, I gotta do music?
Well, when I was listening to Big L, Easy, and Tupac, I fell in love with Big L, Put It On. I fell in love with Tupac, Hit 'Em Up. I fell in love with Easy, Real Motherfucking G's. And I really love rap as a whole. And rap really stuck to me after that. Those are the three first rappers I ever knew. And
What do you think about those records made you gravitate to rap in itself? What was it? Because that's a very diverse range of artists that you're talking about. Like from from Tupac to Big L, both New York artists. Pac was famous in the West Coast, but he was from New York, right?
yeah,
He raps. So, um, how do you think you get your taste? Like, which? I mean, these are three great artists. Which one do you think was the first one that inspired you?
the first artist that inspired me was Big L
Big
because
L.
he has a authentic energy and lyrics that resonate to me the most because that was my life too. That maybe that ghetto gangster shit.
Okay, okay. So I want to talk about your sound, defining your sound. You describe your music as gangster rap with emotional and poetic elements. So what I want to know is how do you balance like the intensity of gangster rap with moments of vulnerability, being poetic and emotional? How do you do that?
Well, the way I blend them is that I take my time, I resonate through it, I work through my craft, I try to be the best I can be, and my sound is very intense and aggressive.
It is because I think it's your voice. You have this amazingly New York raspy voice. Do you get a lot? What kind of comparisons have you gotten about your voice? Do people ever say like, "Hey, you remind me of this artist or this artist"?
I haven't really had anybody that people reminded um, them of. All they said, you got this raspy, unique, iconic voice.
Did your voice always sound like that, or was that something that changed over time?
When I was 16, my voice changed.
Were you happy about it at first? Because I mean, that's definitely a big shock. You go through this.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was really happy that my voice changed at 16.
Okay.
Like some people have baritones, some people have deep voices, bass, but I love the raspiness.
Nice. So if you're joining in us with us right now on Urban Grind TV Live, we are tapped in with New York artist LBisy. I'm sharing the link right now on our Urban Grind TV channel. You are live with an incredible artist, brand new artist here for Urban Grind Television, LBisy, and we're talking about his origins, defining his sound. Now I want to talk about studio vibes. You're recording artists. We love to go to the studio. We love to create. What is your most memorable session uh in the studio where like something turned electric, where something was like, man, this is working for me today? Is there a particular time that stood out?
Well, one of my most memorable studio sessions was my second one. I recorded about 4 or 5 songs, and the energy was just up there because I knew I was going to have an interview with one of the big time radio station in New York. I knew a lot of people were going to listen to my SoundCloud. I knew that I was going to get some exposure, and I did get exposure. I came to you too, and I got a lot of exposure.
Let's talk about that. I mean, tell them how we tapped in with each other, I think, on the internet, right?
It was on Google.
On Google. All right, very organic, man. Tell them how you found Urban Grind Television and a little bit about your experience with working with us.
Well, I found you guys on Google, Google search, and you've been a great help to me. Great promotions, great distribution going on. I'm looking to get my song played on the national radio. Um, I'm looking to make a music video with you soon, and I hope we can make something happen.
No, that's right. We're gonna be breaking the new singles. Swagalicious is gonna be one of the singles, right? And there's one more record I believe we're gonna be working right here on Urban Grind TV and Urban Grind Radio. So you're gonna be able to listen to that new single internationally, all the way as far west as Phoenix, Arizona, all the way to London, England. All they got to do is tap in at urbangrindradio.com. And very soon they're going to be able to check out his brand new single when we debut this, man. Tell us what kind of environment you like when you create. Do you like a lot of people in there kicking it like your homies? Do you like it quiet, like Zen, a candle? I mean, what's an ideal studio environment for you?
My ideal studio environment is just a chill, relaxed, mellow vibe, and something that's gonna go smooth. And they always say you're my fastest worker, the easiest person to work with,
Why do they say that?
because they said I keep going, my flow is crazy, and I don't stop. I just keep moving and keep prospering and keep going.
That's right, man. So I want to talk about your influences and maybe some comparisons. Um, I remember we were talking about like some of your influences. You definitely talked about Tupac, about Eazy-E, Big L, Biggie Smalls. Being from New York City, do you ever feel like you have to side with any New York artist? Is it okay to like an Eazy-E, a West Coast? Is there a lot of people in New York that kind of rock with like Midwest or West Coast music?
Of course, a lot of people in New York use West Coast beats because they sound a little bit better than the East Coast.
Okay.
Like most rappers in the 90s used a lot of West Coast beats that are from the East Coast. So, in the 2000s as well.
You know what that is?
So,
I think that was part of just breaking the sound, right? So if everybody has the same flavor, then nobody really sticks out, and that way people were actually able to stick out. So I think that was dope. Um,
yes,
I want to talk about you mentioned these legends. Out of like Tupac, Eazy-E, Big L, and Biggie Smalls, I believe you said Big L was the one that you felt like the closest to.
yes.
And again, it was just because it was his delivery, his style.
His delivery, his style, his cleverness, his punchlines, his flow, everything. He was just too witty with it.
Too witty with it, right? We're powered by Volt Energy Drink right here on Urban Grind TV. What fuels your grind when you're in the booth, and how do you fit like that into your creative process? What keeps you going?
What fills my grind is
Like
I
fuels what
just
gives you
it's like
energy
the
to
work.
keep doing this?
I just like the work. I just like the energy. I just like the vibe. I like everything about it. And when I'm in that booth, I get to be myself and speak poetry and all that through my rap, poetic bars, everything.
Nice. Um, want to talk about building your brand. Now, you said you want to be the biggest rapper in the world. What steps
Yes.
what steps are you taking right now in collaborations, marketing, hustling? What are you doing to expand your profile?
But I'm trying to expand my profile. I'm releasing singles on SoundCloud. I'm gonna make a Facebook soon that's to elevate my brand. I'm gonna try to make a music video. And I'm like I said before, I'm gonna try to get my song played on your national radio.
No, no, we're not trying. We are debuting that
Mhm.
record. We're just waiting on the
Oh,
clean mix.
good.
Once the clean mix come back from the engineer, Urban Grind Radio and Urban Grind TV will be debuting. So there's no try we do right here on Urban Grind TV. So we're definitely do that. And again, this interview is going to be available on Apple TV, Amazon TV, Roku TV apps, 83 countries around the world, and it will debut right here in Chicago on Urban Grind TV, the Midwest longest running hip hop TV show, man. So I want to say what's next. After this next single drops, they debut it on the radio. What else can fans look forward to from LBisy?
Fans can look forward to what from LBisy is. I'm gonna try my hardest to build a fan base. I'm gonna try to be the biggest I can be, the best I can be, and work at my craft to the fullest. You know, they say you can't microwave success. You have to keep moving and keep pushing.
That's right, man. LBisy, let our viewers know where they can stream your new single and how to follow you online. And if they want to tap in with you, where can they find you?
They can find me on SoundCloud at LBisy,
Spell it.
LBISY,
Say it again, sirs, please.
LBISY.
LBisy. And again, for the people that are curious, where did the LBisy moniker, where did that nickname come from?
Well, when I was in middle school, I created the name LBisy. Lamont Bryan is scaring me. That's my name, Lamont Bryan. I
Okay.
just add the rest to it.
Okay. Nice. Man, make sure you tap in with my man LBisy right out of New York City. He'll be back on the show after we debut his new single for another interview. Make sure you follow and stay tuned. You can follow Urban Grind TV at Urban Grind TV on all social media. Make sure you visit our website, urbangrindtv.com. And don't go nowhere. We got more great stuff coming up. Stay tuned.
Step onto the stage at Urban Grind Studios, featuring a professional TV set with a full stage, dynamic lighting, and top-tier production capabilities. Whether you're filming a show, recording content, or creating high-quality visuals, we've got the setup to bring your vision to life. We also offer a state-of-the-art podcast studio with a Rodcaster Pro, professional mics, and in-studio monitors for flawless sound. Need crystal clear wireless audio? Our professional-grade Saramonic wireless audio system with 4 microphones ensures top-quality sound for any production. Our photography studio is perfect for headshots, brand shoots, and content creation with premium lighting and backdrops. Need to record music or voiceovers? Our on-site recording studio is available for high-quality productions. Expand your reach with podcast distribution, TV and radio packages, and exclusive content placement services. And we keep it comfortable, with a fridge stocked for guests, easy parking, and a designated smoking area. Book your session today. Call 1-888-380-1913 or visit urbangrindtv.com.